Okay, we're live. Very first podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This is the Daily Kazoo. I am the official Megs. Over here to my left, technically, right? However, this looks on television. Yes, sir.
This is me.
Sir,
I'm
go ahead.
JPhrygian.
There you go. And down here, like Marsha Brady.
I'm KingVonSchweetz.
Hey guys, these are my friends. We thought we would do a podcast. We're nerds. Those two are intelligent nerds, though. I'm just a nerd. So we thought instead of
positive self-talk.
I do. I'm positive I am just a nerd.
You're amazing.
Oh,
You're
God.
amazing.
You're amazing.
Affirmation.
You're amazing.
The affirmation is on Monday for Motivation Monday. Thank you. This is Forget That Shit Friday. So we will keep going. But anyways, Jay, give them a little bit about who you are. I keep pointing over here because you're here on my screen, but here.
Yes, but I'm here. Yeah. No, yeah. So I'm JPhrygian. Really got started with being a nerd for pretty much all my life and met this dude on TikTok, and he introduced me to other dudes on TikTok, like this guy down there. And yeah, they're like some of the people I can talk about all this stuff with. So it's just cool to get together and do this with y'all.
KingVonSchweetz.
Hi, I'm Jacob, or KingVonSchweetz. I like JPhrygian. My nerddom, I guess, started really young. I've kind of always been a nerd. My dad gave me comic books when I was like 6 or 7. Not the best age to give a kid comic books because I don't treat them well, but at least I got into them.
Could you imagine if you did treat them well right now, though? Like,
I'm not going to talk about
that wedding. Be so much better.
Gosh, I'd be so much richer than I am now. But yeah, so I make content on TikTok and just started Twitter and Instagram, and Q, which is an app where you like track movies, like what you want to watch and what you will watch.
How do you get to Q? Like, is it an app or a website? What is it?
It's an app. It's only available on iPhones right now, but they're working on Android.
Who uses anything other than that?
I mean,
don't get into that Android slander. I'm with it.
Next up, console wars. No, but yeah, iPhone users can download that in the App Store, but it's a whole lot of fun. You can it's basically social media for movies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I became a nerd just, my dad brought me when I was a child to Return of the Jedi. I mean, I don't know how much nerdier you could possibly be introduced to. And then growing up, I moved around a lot. I never really had friends. And this was the only thing that stayed the same was the music, the entertainment, my games I played, and sports. That's literally what stayed the same. Hence, Megs. And that's how I got my name, but I thought it was a little broad, so I went with movies, entertainment, gaming, and stuff. So that's who I am. I love nerddom. And for our very first episode 0, we are going to talk about the madness after the multiverse. Okay, and that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, everybody. Good night. No, and we're not going to drill it in. I mean, look, we get it. You've seen 972,000 videos talking about the multiverse.
20,000 theories.
I mean, seriously. And they're all roughly about the same, kind of. But we'll go around, rate it, talk about it, where we think we're going from here. Gentlemen, what were your thoughts and rating of Multiverse of Madness?
I think I might be I don't know if I'm the oddest ball. I think I'm kind of in the middle, probably between the two of you. I'll see how it is after. But yeah, I thought looking back on the first watch, it was good superhero movie. As far as like phase 4 MCU, I was a little confused about how much multiverse we got with our madness.
I don't disagree with that. Now, what do you rate it out of 10?
I say like a 6.5. It's like it's solid, but like not high on my rewatch list, I would say.
Okay. Jacob?
I mean, I'm in sort of the same boat. I think I was expecting a little bit more multiverse.
Well, I mean, we were spoon fed that.
Yeah, but we
It
did.
was like candy to a baby, bro.
Yeah, and I mean, America in the movie says like I've been to 73 different universes, and we see like maybe 5 in under 4 seconds, and then we get one universe for pretty much the rest of the film. But I was expecting a little bit more from that, and I guess I was telling you guys earlier this, like we were talking about it, and it's really hard after such a huge hit in the MCU to come back like immediately with another banger. Like
the funny thing about that movie, though, and I always tell everybody this because you're talking about No Way Home.
Yeah,
is that movie? It's big. Is it that big without us just coming out of quarantine, and that's the first thing we get?
I think it is.
I think it's big. I don't think it's like big though, like it was.
I think like with Endgame, you saw everybody that you've been seeing for the past couple of years. Like it made sense that they were in it and then immediately after that, Far From Home was like, I thought was a great movie. But a lot of people were like, eh. And I think that's just because they were riding the high of Endgame. But then you have Spider-Man No Way Home, which I think was the first movie that gave us the cameo high of just like, oh my gosh, look, there's like 6 different actors that I've seen in,
well, like Loki kind of did with the variant Lokis, and we got like 1 or 2 different people playing these different Lokis. That was our variant cameo thing, but I get what you mean.
It wasn't like a returning character, like, oh my gosh, Toby's back or Andrew. So I think that with that one, as soon as we got that, like, I think viewership just like was a little bit upset, I guess, with Doctor Strange not having Deadpool and like all of the Fantastic Four and Wolverine in there played by Hugh Jackman and like because there were theories out there for all of
Daniel Radcliffe. Don't forget Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe's definitely in the MCU by Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah,
like, James McAvoy had even had like a live where someone said, "Are you in Multiverse of Madness?" And he went, "No," and I was like,
wasn't he like done with
that kind of funnily? Like maybe he's in it. So like,
because like Andrew's the worst liar. He stumbles all over the place. He's so bad at it. And then you have now everybody, even like
everybody's being asked if they're in the MCU, bro.
Like even Elizabeth Olsen right now, it's like, are you going to be in what was it they were asking if she was going to be in something?
Agatha,
and she's like, no, and everyone's just like, that's a lie. It's everything's a lie now, and every movie has to have like 15 cameos, and that's part of the video I did the other day talking about this movie. Was it kind of ruins a little bit of the MCU for me, where now instead of like, I want a good story, instead now we're like, hey, how many cameos are we getting? Is it 4 hours long? Is it 2 hours long? What is it? And then like, how many different multiverses are we going to do now? Like, that's kind of what it is. And I hate that that's what we're getting from No Way Home. No Way Home is its own entity to me.
Yeah, it's like No Way Home to a degree was like, yes, a multiversal event, but it was also giving a little, I guess, at least somewhat kind of ending for 2 characters who we never really saw a true ending for, while at the same time moving along the current Spider-Man. So like, that's why it kind of, it stands as like its own event, even for not just the MCU, but for the realm of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think that, a lot of people got caught up in thinking Multiverse of Madness was another step in that direction. I didn't even necessarily think cameo-wise. For me, the use of the multiverse, I think, was where I fell short with Multiverse of Madness. Was just because, like, thinking the fact that, I mean, we knew when we saw, like, We Should Tell Them the Truth, that, like, the Illuminati is coming in, like, if you know the comics, and hear multiverse. But then when they like actually name drop them in like a trailer, like a final trailer or whatever.
Yeah, Mordo says the Illuminati that we'll see now.
And then also we haven't seen our Mordo since Doctor Strange 1. So even leading up, we're thinking that this is a multiversal conglomerate that's gonna like lead us to the next step of like Secrets of the Multiverse.
Right. And then like even in there, he was when he's talking about Mordo, he's like, my Mordo has tried to kill me multiple times. When? At what point did this happen? Because I'm confused on your timeline.
Did you remember him saying that, Jake?
Yeah, I remember him saying something along the lines of like, he was the first person that brought me into Comertage, and then he says, and then after that he snapped and like just was the worst to me and like hates me now.
Spends every waking moment trying to kill me.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and it's like, when was this? Yeah, back to Jacob though. What did you rate it?
I gave it like a 7.5. If I'm being harsh, in a separate world where the MCU doesn't exist and this movie was like a standalone film, like letting go of like connections and stuff, I honestly would give it probably like an 8, almost an 8.5. Like it was pretty good, and it was definitely different from the original campiness of the MCU. Like it definitely stretched and pushed some barriers that other films don't do. And not a lot of the MCU has really ever done that. I think Ragnarok did it a lot for Thor.
First MCU movie to actually be categorized as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi knew he was going to do them jump scares.
Yeah. No, I agree. I walked in to this analogy is how I did it with somebody else earlier, and they're like, that's pretty accurate. I walked into Five Guys and they handed me a Whopper. I'm not upset. I still like it. But I was promised Five Guys. That's kind of how I am with going from Spider-Man No Way Home and Marvel telling me, well, it's going to be way better now. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to get something way more. I'm not upset with what I got. I'm taking Spider-Man No Way Home as its own little like middle piece.
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange is starting it. Yeah, and Doctor Strange is Iron Man to me for this new saga that we're doing.
Oh, where it's like you don't necessarily know where it's going.
Correct.
If you think about it that way, it does feel a little different. See, I think the thing is it was dressed up to kind of be, I don't know, more of a checkpoint, like not a starting point. So like, and again, that could have been the point. I think I told you guys this before. I kind of alluded to like the use of Taskmaster in Black Widow or the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. There was another one. I don't remember, but it just was one of those things where you could have named that another kind of character instead, only because, so like Taskmaster, for example, I didn't like that it was like, wait, they just like plug the moves into you, and it was one of those things with using the Illuminati. I was kind of underwhelmed. I knew what was going to happen to them, though.
Like we all knew, barefoot sweatpants clapped. That's what we knew.
I kind of assumed they would be defeated. I didn't think it would be murder.
I mean, first of all, it just unraveled out of nowhere. And then after it happened, mind blowing. It like hit me like a ton of bricks.
That really just happened. The other thing, you had KingVonSchweetz, you had mentioned it didn't feel as campy. I saw some people say like that was what was interesting about it was that it did have really campy moments though. And then kind of like what he just said, the moment that everything unraveled, it was just like,
I think
what?
I mean, even if you look at like Sam Raimi's other stuff, like Evil Dead and Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, they're pretty campy. But I mean, like this one was more of the Evil Dead of it's campy, but it's also a lot.
Yeah,
it's not going to be just like campy, like PG campy. It's going to be. Are we sure this isn't rated R campy?
Where there's like that campy with like that slow burn in between to another campy to another, but this was like campy, run, and it was just like
campy terror.
Yeah.
The word campy has lost all of its meaning. We've said it too much.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. The word campy is now mid. My bad.
I know you did not just say mid, bro.
I did.
I have Grandpa trying to relate.
Mid.
I did. This whole thing is the roof's on fire. Let's go. Whoop, whoop.
To change the subject quickly, how did y'all feel about the whole 616 being revealed from Christine?
I think it's wild considering the fact like Mysterio did it how many
I was
movies
gonna
ago?
say that, like,
And then now it's like, oh no, it's real. And it's like,
going back to Far
Wait.
From Home, actually, that you were talking about how Far From Home was one of your favorite movies. It reminds me kind of Spider-Man No Way Home, where they kind of fed like the idea of multiverse a little bit in the trailers. You're like, no, Mysterio's definitely a villain. Then like they start it and he says the Earth 616 thing, and you're like, no, wait, like for real? and then it wasn't. And that's kind of with this. I have to headcanon it that like Earth 838 just considered it 616, but it's not really. It was just meant to.
we randomly
make your
pick
perk
numbers
up.
and it just happened to be it.
Here's my thing, though. I started thinking about it today, and I was like, well, hold on. In the comics, Wanda is, but obviously not the movies. But as far as America, she's a Nexus being, so she only exists in that one universe.
Mhm.
So the movie universe and the comic universe can't even be in the same multiverse. Because otherwise, now America is not a Nexus being because she exists in the comics. So she should be able to bring that knowledge into the movies. So after thinking about that, I was like, okay, like that makes sense now that our MCU timeline is the 616 because I mean, otherwise they're not going to be able to go to like universe 616. I will say that I am upset that they didn't think about that while writing this movie to explain that a little bit more because Eric Selvig was the first person to point it out, like on his chalkboard, and like I think it was Thor: The Dark World.
Yup.
Like it's 616 is written there,
Yup.
and then you've also got it like in Agents of Shield several times. You have it in Loki.
Not canon. Stop it.
Okay, Agents of Shield.
I don't think it's canon either. I'm just saying it's in there.
You
know what's
don't
really
lie.
bad?
Don't lie. We
I
all know
haven't-
you do. We've seen
you
your
know what's
video.
really bad? I haven't watched it. Like I watched a couple episodes when it was on cable, and then I didn't live with my parents anymore. I didn't have
Yeah,
cable.
it's really good for the first like 3 seasons.
I would give it 4. Like mid-5th, it gets weird. And to make you both feel better, I went to the theater to see the first 2 episodes of Inhumans.
I did too.
Okay.
Never watched Humans.
Good for you. Good for
Anyway,
you. Watch any Mariah Carey movie before you watch Inhumans.
God,
No, you did not.
Anyway,
Am I Jacob, am I lying?
are you saying just like the level of corniness?
It's horrible.
I'll say that the writing is not great. The acting, I think, was medium. Like it could have been a little bit better.
So, but also to let you know, the guy that plays Black Bolt in the movie is the same one from the Inhumans TV show.
Yeah, I picked up a lot of people were
Okay.
like talking about it and
Yeah.
like I heard the
Because I know he
collective
didn't
noises.
say it. I know he didn't say it. So
I like knew it was when they said Black or Boltagon or whatever. I just say Black Bolt. Whenever they said Black Bolt, like I know about him from the comics. So like I still
they had him dressed up like Star-Lord in the show.
In what show?
In
Oh, in
Inhumans.
the Inhuman show?
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, he roughly had like a Black Bolt look to him. He still had those like lightning bolts on the side.
But it was a leather brownish jacket kind of thing. And it
He was
okay.
young. He was young.
And then they
And I-
shave Medusa's head. Come on.
Okay, I know we're like completely off topic.
We
but
are.
I want to say that Phase 4, they have not held back with these costumes, especially in
No.
Illuminati. As soon as I saw Black Bolt, I was like, we're ripping the comic book pages off and throwing them
How-
up there.
How great would it have been? What's the dog's name? I always forget the dog's name.
Lockjaw.
Yeah, imagine Lockjaw just
Oh.
shows up behind him.
Lockjaw is one of my favorite characters. He's just so funny to like his power set, and just a dog having that ability is just
Yeah, the
so
teleport.
funny. Ugh.
Yeah.
But
And it was-
Mysterio saying 616 though doesn't make any sense. That's the only
Yeah.
that's my only qualm, or like like my
Your only big
upset,
thing.
Yeah, with 616 being the thing, because
I'm saying
with
Qualms,
Selvig
but-
saying it, with Loki having it, that doesn't make any sense with Mysterio saying it unless he's from the multiverse, but he's not.
Right. No, my
Yeah.
my thing with it was like the multiverse issue of it. Like we saw all of it, right? It's like somebody's sitting there going, I got all this fun stuff here for you, but you can only play Uno. Like, that's it. Like, you gave me nothing, but you showed me all this stuff. One of the planets actually had nothing but the Iron Man plots from Far From Home.
Okay, I was gonna say this. What are like? What did y'all think each universe was when you were seeing them?
I thought the prehistoric one was Kazar. Is that how you say it? Yeah, I thought that was going to be Kazar. I thought that was going to be the jungle, and I always forget the name of it. But you know what it is from the animated X-Men series, where Magneto and Charles got stuck there, and Charles could walk, and like it was a whole thing.
But wasn't that? I don't even think that's. I think that exists within 616 comic universe. It's just in Antarctica though, so it's not in like the multiverse. It's just in another area of Earth that nobody ever goes to.
Look, we went through like 11 things. We only got one.
I will say, whenever we saw the animated one, the music starts doing like very clown music. And originally people were theorizing like that's 616, that's the comic book universe, or it's the 90s X-Men universe. But when we started hearing the music, I mean, Danny Elfman is just a king. Let's say that right now. But when that music started playing and it sounded very clowny or animated, I was like, Spider-Ham, absolutely. Like that's what it is.
And then we got another lava one, which we all know is Mustafar.
It could be. I mean, they've already done that before.
It's Mustafar. I mean, like, why would you not do it again? Like, just to tease it.
Yeah. Speaking of the animated one and the music in general, like to talk about the music, that is a big plus for me. Like, so the first time I was in the theater, I couldn't hear it because obviously there were cheers. But when Xavier comes out and he puts in the OG X-Men theme, and he's coming out on the floating chair, I was so happy.
Can we all agree, like when that started, you knew like just the dun, 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 and you're like, oh, X-Men's on. Like, I gotta go.
No, yeah, it's Saturday morning. It's Saturday morning cartoons right now. But and I guess that's the other thing for me with the multiverse part of it, and them giving us like, we're getting the Illuminati, was the thought that at least that group would be multiversal. Like, even just if like that Mordo was the 616 Mordo, to just like have beef with Dr. Strange or just something. Because like to hear that OG X-Men theme, I'm thinking like, no, he's from the 90s universe. Like, this is a multiverse group, even in that moment. And it was like, no, we all just from 838, man.
I'm intrigued to see like, because I mean, I think it was Adam had maybe said it in one of his TikToks, or maybe it was Theories by T. I don't remember, but someone said
both the same intelligence. I'm just,
yeah,
I get it.
I thought you said you weren't intelligent. You weren't intelligent.
I'm downplaying. Okay, what you do is tell everybody you're bad, and when they see it, they're like, "Oh my god, no, he's really good," and then they like you better. Shut up.
Anyway, one of y'all had said, and I'm pretty sure it was T now that I think about it, but he said, if we think about it, like phase one, like we knew what they were doing. Avengers, like Nick Fury showed up, connected each one, like they knew where they were going. Phase two was a little bit more like, what? Like
he did that today or yesterday. I remember the video.
But he was connecting like originally, like Kevin Feige probably didn't intend on the Tesseract or Loki's scepter to be Infinity Stones or gems, whichever. But like now it makes so much sense to everybody rewatching them. You're like, oh yeah, that's an Infinity Stone right there. Like
they've already said the plan is that they don't have a real plan.
Yeah, they've got like a roundabout idea.
But for me though, with the end of this movie, I'm just like, most of this movie, I know it's the multiverse and it is another universe on its own, but like it kind of feels like a lot of the plot was in a vacuum. Like all of the characters in the Illuminati died, but what kind of repercussions does that have for us? Like we don't care. We're going to see half of them in the future, and then half of them we'll probably never see again.
Yeah, and so you bring up the other fair point. We've talked so much about like the multiverse. We talked a little bit about like the good parts of the movie, some of the scary parts, which obviously involve Wanda and also obviously Elizabeth Olsen's acting. But then the other part we're missing that kind of bothered me is Doctor Strange was really not that important in the whole movie. Like he wasn't like
Wonder Woman 84 where like if you took her out, it's still the same movie. But he was like a sidekick of a sidekick in this.
Yeah, I only say that because another thing that lacked for me was like the most that he did was move on from Christine, but he didn't really like learn anything. I thought that repercussions were coming for his desecrations of reality,
Wait.
for his specifically.
No,
Just
he
for
didn't move
existing.
on. He didn't move on. Julian pointed it out today, and it's so true. Doctor Strange is a simp, and all he did, he cried about, "Oh, I'm at my ex's wedding. I left. I found another version of Christine, and every universe you see, he either has lost her because of death or lost her because of something else, because he's died or something, and now he's got her in a universe where he doesn't exist, and she's like, nope, sorry, not happening. But I love you in every universe. Nope, not happening. End of movie. His real wife shows up, and it's just like, nope. Relationship to relationship to relationship.
I think that part was written really well, though, because as he said goodbye to her, like that Christine, knowing that they shouldn't cause another incursion, were like, we can't be together. Like, it's just not possible.
But they both kind of got like their closure.
Yeah, they got their closure
other.
together. And Strange said, like, it's not that I don't want to be with you, and it's not that I don't want someone to be with me. It's just that I'm afraid. And in my second watch through, I realized whenever he meets Clea in the first end credit scene, she says, "You caused an incursion. I'm here to fix it, unless you're afraid." And he says, "Not in the slightest." So I think that was a recall to when he said to Christine, "I'm afraid." It's just now he's gone. We didn't see it on screen, but I mean, we kind of did with his goodbye to Christine. He's not afraid of being in a relationship and getting hurt or hurting others now. And Clea is now going to be the first and the last person to experience him willing to be in that relationship.
I agree.
So with connecting those lines, I think Strange did have a nice arc. I think that
I don't think he didn't have a good arc. I just think
a lot of people were saying he didn't have an arc at all, though. And I was like, no.
I didn't say he didn't have I wouldn't say he didn't have an arc. I'd say like the most was, well, to me, I didn't really think of it as deep with the stuff with Clea. I might have to do a third watch because like the second watch was really kind of my first watch because I missed a whole lot.
I think Donovan's watched it like 14 times now. Just ask him.
But yeah, so like I probably just need maybe another watch. I actually do need to take my wife to see it. She has not seen it yet. Because I was gone. But yeah,
where were you? Where'd you go?
I had a trip.
What trip? What trip you to? I'm not gonna ask anything other than like
the multiverse.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, actually, you got to see America Chavez.
I did. I went to the Soups event. Xochitl Gomez was there.
Yeah,
it's cool to see her.
He just put that video up actually today. The vlog of like her and being there and stuff like that and everything. It was cool.
Yeah. It was really interesting because like I'm not sure. I don't know. This is like her first like big thing, right?
Yeah, this is it. She's young. She's like super young. I think she's like 15 or something like that.
Yeah, and so like it was interesting because even seeing like you could kind of see that like this is all still really new. Even when she was talking. And like I think the premiere, which was earlier that week, was like her first like big like red carpet where it's like this is for a movie I'm in, you know.
It was literally I think the day before or something like that.
No, it was earlier in the week. It was
like
earlier in the week.
It was like 2 days then. It wasn't long because you guys got there and saw it Thursday like I did.
Oh, that's right.
I think it was Tuesday if I remember, maybe Monday, but like it wasn't much longer after. She was going from like premiere to New York to do morning shows, then over back to LA to do Soups thing. Then next day, her, Benedict, and I think Rachel McAdams, I'm not sure, were on oh God, what's her name? Kelly Clarkson's show on the next day. And it's just like, what a whirlwind that girl. And now there's a rumor that she is doing, there's gonna be a solo America Chavez movie, possibly, or show, something. And it's her looking for her mother.
Why not both?
So if everyone's so sick of the young kid, like I'm hearing, get ready. It's coming.
Why would she not look for both mothers?
You get the mothers. I'm sorry.
I didn't know. I was like, wait, did they like say
He doesn't
confirm,
like
oh,
the one
of
she
them
gave the
dead?
flower to. The other one is
Yeah,
she hates her.
the other one we know is not the favorite.
I thought something I said that like,
No,
oh
no, no,
yeah,
no,
she's
no.
gone. I was like, bruh.
No. It's apparently in the works. They're working on it. But speaking of writing, I don't know if you saw. Yeah, I saw this today. The same writer that did Multiverse of Madness is now going to do the new Star Wars movie. Write the new Star Wars movie with
Kevin
the
Feige.
the ever genius Kevin Feige.
So what do y'all think of that? Because I know I am probably the more casual Star Wars person. However, I will say
Sure.
I've seen
Me too.
a lot of people feel like, because wasn't the writer for Multiverse of Madness, he also did Loki? Was it all of Loki or just some episodes?
No, I think he did all of Loki.
I think he did all.
Okay. I've heard some like just negative opinions on it. So that's why I would say
Loki's
what do y'all think of
fantastic.
that?
He's got me at 50-50 right now. I'm like kind of excited because it's something new, but then I'm also like, the last thing he gave me went great. It wasn't bad. It just went great.
I saw like whenever they like initially announced that he was going to be the writer for the movie,
Mhm.
he said like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited to explore the vast like universe that Star Wars is, like all the different planets and different creatures and things like that."
So we're getting 2 planets.
And then somebody like quote tweeted and said, "So the movie's set on Tatooine." I was like, I swear, if it's another sand planet, I'm done.
So we're doing just the Dagobah series. Got it. Not a problem.
So is that akin to people having comments about like he apparently, not that he had to, but like as far as connectivity, he only watched like part of WandaVision. So like, whereas Kevin Feige, for example, said like Loki.
Well, apparently,
set
don't
off
forget,
the
like
chain of
this
events.
didn't start. They didn't start doing anything with this. This started before Wanda even started being shown. This started filming and writing and everything. They started filming and everything like when Wanda was on. So all the writing was already done.
When WandaVision, you're saying when WandaVision was on, you kept saying Wanda, so I was like, Wanda and what?
WandaVision.
Huh.
And like speaking of, I like how we've talked about all this, but like the star, I find it weird when people are like, I can't believe she's done some things that I don't know if I can forgive or like her ever again. But let me make it clear. Let me help you guys with this. She lost her parents via Tony. She lost her brother via technically Tony. She had to destroy the love of her life. And then she lost her, whether they're fake or not, children. What mother or human being would not break after that and just be like, you know what? I'm done with everybody.
I think the main complaint with people was after Westview and like WandaVision, it seemed like she was turning a new leaf and she was kind of like moving on from that. She was going to find a way to find her kids, but like still try to move on. And I saw like this interesting theory that in the end credits of WandaVision, whenever she's holding the Darkhold and you hear the kids go, help me, help us. It's almost like word for word and same audio as whenever at the end of Multiverse of Madness, she walks through that portal and they're like, Mom, help us. And she's attacking them. So I was like, oh, that's heartbreaking. So I think
damn.
That's kind of, I mean, like a futuristic thing. Also, I've seen the one where it's very similar to like the Shang-Chi thing where there's a demon using that as like her to read more of the Darkhold and be into the Darkhold and stuff like that. I could
like
go either way, but but I like Jacob's one. That hits a little bit better.
I think that it was planned. I think it was always planned that this would be, I know that it was planned that Wanda would be the villain of Multiverse of Madness. But I think there was a little bit of a disconnect of how she got to be like, I'm going to murder a child from, I'm going to find my kid.
Yeah, because it's like her saying, Mom, her hearing Mom help us, like, sounds like they're in danger. So like, again, could be kind of like Darkhold influence. Could be, that'd be interesting though, because that wouldn't just be reality breaking. She would have also been like looking into the future too
Mm-hmm.
in another universe. That's kind of crazy. Um, and also kind of messes up. I guess this goes with the whole Nexus being thing. Like you would think her kids are in another universe without her, but like the fact that she's also going to a universe, she's like, I'm just gonna kill myself in that universe, and I'm gonna take her spot.
I love the wall break fourth wall break that she does though, right? Like how great, and nobody talks about it. Like just the
I was scared
look
the
at the
shit out of me.
camera,
To
and
be
then
honest,
just
I
goes
don't know
away.
what to think about it because I was just like, I know that she's looking at the camera, but like, is this meant to be a fourth wall break? Like she knows we're watching this for our entertainment. Because if not, then like, why is she looking directly at me? Like, I don't. It makes me uncomfy.
I didn't think of it that way, and now I can't stop.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Also, by the way, I know I never said it. I'm at a 6.8 on the movie. I don't hate it.
You know what a lot of people are gonna say? They're gonna tell you just go ahead and round that up.
It's a 6.8. I'm not rounding it up. It's a
6.8, not a 6 out of 8. Got it.
Yeah, no, 6.8.
I was like, that's a weird scale, but all right.
No, 6.8.
6.8.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between 1 to 10. So no, it's 6.8. I like it. It's. I think I'll like it more later. I think once I have a path, I'll enjoy it more.
Yeah, I think it's funny. The reason I made that comment, people gonna tell you to round, is because when I told people 6.5, they were like, "Bro, go ahead and round that up to a 7." I was like, "Bro, it's like, it's just I'm cool. It might be one of those that I go back and watch, and like we'll be able to theorize, like, oh my god, they meant it all along, even though it maybe kind of worked out." But like going into it, just how it was dressed up, kind of like the burger analogy you gave.
Yeah, I mean, it's really what it was. We were promised
like,
Five Guys, which is better than In-N-Out, and we got a Whopper, which is not horrible. I'll still eat it.
The face that you make every time that he uses it.
I like In-N-Out a lot, so I know that's a hot take, but yeah.
But I've actually never had it. It's only because I'm East Coast, and I've only actually been to the West Coast twice, and neither time In-N-Out was available. But yeah, it's just one of those things where I might appreciate it more later. But kind of like, because going back and watching Iron Man 3, it's like a little more enjoyable to me, but I can't lie and say that when I first saw it, I was like, did y'all just waste using the Mandarin though? Like, and that's kind of how I feel with like the Illuminati. Was like, I think just because they were like, the Illuminati will see you now. And we know Baron Mordo's got beef with Doctor Strange because, I think part of his previous story matters a little more. I'm thinking like, I just felt Mandarin. That's like the best word.
I think Mordo's going to be a big villain for the Strange 3 movie, probably.
And I guess I didn't expect them to save him for Strange 3, which like that could work out in their favor, like to have waited on that.
Back during 2016, though, we all thought Mordo would have been the big villain for Doctor Strange too. So I'm not going to say Mordo's going to be in anything until he's in it.
I just know
they tell us everything about the movie in a trailer.
Yeah,
bruh. So I'm glad I stopped watching the TV spots because I actually have seen more of them now, like actually on television or when I'm working out at the gym. And like I'm like, dang, yeah, like if you watch all the TV spots and then go watch the movie, you realize they showed pieces of the whole movie. I'll never forget, like, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, while it does get the flack that it does, it bothered me that they showed him, go up against the Rhino armor in the trailer, and then that was the literal end of the movie, simply because I was just like, wait, you had me waiting for Rhino, and, like, he doesn't actually show up until the very end. Like, I don't know.
They also showed, like, the clock, like, when Gwen Stacy dies in that film. It's the exact issue that she dies in the comics, so everybody like pieced that together, and it was just.
I thankfully wasn't into theories and stuff then, so I didn't actually see that. I was like, still.
Can you imagine though, like back, like because I did a video not so long ago about this. Like, can you imagine if social media was around like when Star Wars was going on?
Bro, them lightsabers crazy, bro.
Yo, I think Luke and Leia could get together, right? Like, I totally could see that. And then, like, after you watch
years later, me commenting, "Welp."
Yeah, that aged well. But like somebody also brought that up, and I brought it up to you guys. Like the only girl Luke ever like showed feelings towards was his sister. Just saying.
Bruh.
Hot take, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, but that's how George wrote that. Where do we go from here now? What I think happens is this sets up Secret Wars, but not for another 10 to 12 years. But what I think happens is we're going to see pieces.
God, I'll be old.
How do you think I feel? And then I'll be a grandparent by then. Then I think what's going to happen is piece by piece, movie by movie, we're going to start seeing the other multiverses being like, oh, they killed Reed. This is going to happen. Hey, they killed Xavier. The X-Men are going to start showing up. And we're not going to get the X-Men in our MCU. It's going to be in that MCU. It'll be in that universe. And they're going to show that X-Men. And then at the end of Secret War, we'll have a full transitional thing.
You think other people aren't even going to be showing up in our multiverse? They're just going to come in for Secret
I think
Wars?
X-Men are not in 616. I think they're in a different multiverse. I think it's just too... It's like the joke, right? Like, oh, hey, somebody in New York will get whoever's doing that over there because there's 1,000 superheroes in New York, which is why they're not doing anything in New York anymore. It's the same argument. Soon there's going to be too many superheroes in 616. Now that we're starting to see more of a multiverse, I think they're going to do the X-Men in a different multiverse, and Fantastic Four maybe in a different multiverse. And at the end of Secret Wars, there'll be a collision and it will bleed it together.
That'd be
kind of like how I don't remember who ended up doing it, but it was kind of like how the Ultimates universe ended up colliding with the 616 universe, and then just became the same universe. Yeah,
or like in Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse, not Across Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. Remember how the multiverses were going together as Kingpin was trying to find his family?
Yeah, but I mean, like with the Ultimate Universe and 616, they came together and just blended. But
some people don't read comic books; they just watch movies. I'm just trying to be helpful.
Kingpin, like Into the Spider-Verse one, it was like everything was like messing up because of that.
I think there could be something similar. Okay. But yes, read comic books, gentlemen and ladies, and non-binary people.
Yeah, I need to step my comic book game up. I like growing up. I wasn't ever near like a comic book store. Like I was aware of them, and then like the internet stuff started to become more accessible. I'd read like some scans here and there, but never like necessarily finding like whole comic books to like read. But yeah, so now that there are so many resources, I do need to. I want to step up my comic book game. I do have one physical comic book. It's Marvel 1602, and I still haven't finished it because I keep starting it, and then I'm like,
I have 8
because I always read late at night.
One of them is just Spider-Man, and someone would be really excited about it. Most of it is 300 run.
The fact
we're
that I don't even know
we're all Spider-Man. So the 300 run for the comic books is Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn. He drew in that. Actually, Sir Jacob, I will actually show you when we're done with this. I have a comic I might send you, and I know the story behind it. In the
way that smile, hey, the chair spin. Oh, is that Charmander?
Yes, it's Charmander.
On the chair.
Your chair is Pokemon, correct?
Oh no, this is my shirt.
Oh.
This is a shirt I normally wear to make TikToks. It's like my little brand.
Yeah, he's got to have some kind of Marvel Hawaiian shirt.
Love my Marvel Hawaiian shirts.
Hey, I like them. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually saw Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man button up the other day. I thought about you.
I will say that McFarlane's like art though is like, it's probably one of the most iconic looks for Spider-Man. Like I would say
he created Venom and Carnage.
I would say top 2. Like right after Stan Lee and Steve Ditko comes McFarlane. Like his artwork is just like 80s Spider-Man at peak.
So what is the biggest art school in the US? Anybody?
I don't know.
Speaking of it, the Kubrick School of Art.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's literally, I kid you not, it is 4 miles down the road that way. I live right by it. It is wild. And I went to school with his brother's daughter. And she is now, what is she now, DC? She is head editor for Jim Lee.
Hey,
And
first of all, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Also, I know we talking Doctor Strange. We don't.
We
we'll
are.
go
We got a little
DC.
off on it.
We'll go on. Well, no, but you said DC, and I was like, I want to talk about DC now. So, but
she works for Jim Lee. Anyways, continue though. I think we get Secret Wars. Is there any way we don't get Secret Wars?
No.
I think we get Secret Wars. It's like I get that it sets up Secret Wars. It's just like, dang, it was like Doctor Strange and the couple of verses.
Yeah, Doctor Strange and 2 planets and some mild upsetness. What?
I mean, I think we're getting Secret Wars regardless, just because if you ask any Marvel fan what their like top 5 Marvel movies are, 99% of the time it's Infinity War, Endgame, and then you probably end up getting Captain America, Winter Soldier in there somewhere. And all 3 of those movies have one thing in common: the Russo brothers. And the Russo brothers said, we're not going to come back for any Marvel movies, but we may come back for Secret Wars.
And I've heard the rumor of them Secret Wars is going to be a 3-part.
Oh, I fully believe that.
I agree.
Because you know how much money Disney would make off of that?
Question though, for obviously for me and Jacob then. Do we not get the black suit till Secret Wars?
I think we're going to get a next movie.
I don't think we get next movie. I think maybe second movie. I think this movie is a real kind of like defining of who he is and what his world looks like now. And at the end, maybe we get something.
Nah, I think he's still dealing with May and the loss of MJ and Ned. And
use the anger.
Yeah, that's going to attach it to him. Yeah. And then MJ will remember or something, or Ned, like that spell will be broken on the 2 of them.
I don't want to see Zendaya the next movie. I don't want to see Zendaya next movie.
I don't think we should. But I think that would be like a good ending to that movie. Is we don't see her until like the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, like when she's remembering, like when something happens, because like I can agree.
Saves her or something random, and then like at the end of it, he goes to swing away at the end of the movie, and she's like, Peter, and then
what did you call me?
Yeah, right.
What did you say?
I will say that if it is going to be Venom in this next one, it better just be Black Suit Spider-Man against a villain, and not Black Suit Spider-Man and Venom and another villain.
What if they kind of mesh
and a villain, or Spider-Man and Venom?
What if they mesh and bring Kingpin into Spider-Man's universe?
Okay, I thought you were going to say
no.
You were going to say Sonyverse, and I'm like,
no, God, no. Although, like, look, for whatever it's worth with the multiverse and all that stuff, right? They could technically bring Tom Hardy in and whatever nonsense. I know. I spoke to somebody who knows something and things and stuff like that, and they apparently that's kind of where they were going, is like the 3rd Venom movie might be Spider-Man versus Venom, but I don't think it's going to be Tom. I think it would be a different Spider-Man. Anyways, Andrew Garfield. Let's just put it out there. But what I want to see is Back in Black, and like obviously can't be Kingpin putting a bounty on his head and getting Aunt May shot. But what I think it could be is something similar-ish, and like the area of around where MJ and them and everyone in the city, like Kingpin's done something, like maybe post Echo or something that's involving him a little bit, and he starts terrorizing New York and the black suit, and he does like a Back in Black kind of thing. I think that'd be a good story.
So for me, I'm thinking I'm kind of probably like Jacob, where I think this is what you said, where I'm thinking maybe at some point, or maybe at the end of the next movie, like he gets the black suit. I'm also wondering, although it's a little weird, but I'm wondering if they were going to bring in maybe Felicia Hardy or his Gwen Stacy or something like that, and like maybe him have that moment, and then like you said, like not seeing Zendaya next movie, 5th movie, he like maybe still has black suit or whatever. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how long they would go with it. I feel like
God, I don't know if Marvel could do a Gwen Stacy.
You don't think so?
I think they could.
I think they could, but I think
the
the backlash, if it's not Emma, I think everyone loses their mind.
But why would it be Emma?
Because she was Gwen Stacy in that universe, and they want her to be Spider-Gwen. I just think it's
the backlash needs to go to Sony for messing that whole thing up and not having a universe where Andrew is still making Spider-Man movies, and Emma can come back as Ghost Spider. Like, that's their fault.
Yeah.
Back to what you were saying about Kingpin, though. If they do have that moment where Kingpin's done something and Spider-Man is like had it because May's dead, or in the comic it was May was shot and she was on death's bed, basically.
Maybe MJ's on death's bed instead.
Yeah, either way. But there's a single moment when he finds Kingpin. I think he was in prison. He goes to the prison, finds Kingpin.
He was on stage.
Single slap, and the dude is bleeding out of his nose.
He's on stage at a charity event, if I remember the comic correctly.
Man, that was...
And he straight up picks him up like by his chesticles.
Yeah.
Like
he says,
no, like I know you don't know this comic probably, Jordan, but like Back in Black is a very vicious return of Peter in the symbiote suit. It is.
Yeah, I never knew the name, but
yeah,
I've seen those scans of literally the like I've read it. Like I said, whenever
he beats him like to an inch of his life,
and he puts his web shooters up at his mouth, and he's like, "Dude, I can suffocate you right now." Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that would be an interesting take.
I would have loved to see that story with Aunt May, but they obviously kind of gave that to us a little early.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be May. That's why they had to release it not in May, because there's no May.
One thing to go back to Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, go.
May, but holidays. This movie coming out Mother's Day weekend was also hilarious, considering.
Yeah, it's called Mom. It's about a frustrated mom looking for her kids, and like comes out Mother's Day weekend. Like,
come on now,
come on.
Every mother makes their child with magic.
Bro, okay. So sorry. Another detail about Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness. Why she had to be a single mother in every universe? Like, how is Vision not still here? At least in pictures, like you said, Adam. Like, he ain't in no pictures. Did she make her kids with magic here too? And they're just still here.
Like, Vision's just gone in every universe. I think maybe he's a Nexus being in just that one universe, but then it's just like, well, how does that make sense? Like, yeah, like you go down this road and it's just like, you couldn't have added him in like the photos at least. Like, he went to go get Rocky Road, or like
they're like, we need to save money. We're not even going to ask Paul for his likeness.
Seriously, but you could have done like a voice in the background, like, "Sweetie, everything okay?" Like from upstairs or something, and it's like, "Yeah, we're good."
Yeah, they did voice acting for Spider-Man No Way Home. They could have just been like, "Yo, let's get his voice from upstairs."
Seriously, like you could have done something.
Then I will say people probably would have nitpicked and been like, "Ain't no way Vision doesn't go downstairs though." That's another thing that made me mad. She threw those bowls and they broke, and them kids didn't move from watching the TV. I was like, your mother. I understand that like the lights flickering stuff was probably in her mind, but she threw them bowls and they broke, and them kids didn't move.
When you were a kid and you had your video games and TV on, did you move if something happened?
I mean, if I heard my mom fall, they didn't like turn around and look at her until she was walking back.
I didn't move. Would you have moved, Jacob? Probably not.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah,
but I will say my only big complaint with that entire movie, my only big complaint was, we like ice cream. Yes, we do. I was like, shut the hell up. This is not song.
You know what it was like? Dude, did either one of you watch Euphoria?
Yes.
Did you watch it at all? It's okay if you didn't. There was a
Great
scene
show.
where like after some beef happened and some apologies happened, this dude plays a song, and like you think it's only gonna be like, maybe like a short verse and a chorus.
Bro, it's
like he plays the whole song. I just saw a tweet about it the other day, which is why you reminded me. It was just like whenever he played that song, who else was like
Jacob, I'm not lying to you, bro. You're sitting there watching, you're like, and there's a part where it like he kind of tripped,
and
just
you're like,
goes,
oh,
yeah, and it's just like, you're like, oh, okay. So anyways, and he's just like, oh, Jesus, how long does this thing go?
Yeah, and it like that's how the ice cream thing was for me too, where it was like, all right, now y'all could have stopped after the first. You could have put every into one verse. You didn't have to try to make it a double. No, it didn't. It needed to be a 4-bar, not an 8-bar.
Look, let's just agree, due to one show only, there has to be a singing moment in every television show or every movie or something like that if they're trying to make it like super popular, because it's the best singing moment in a television show ever. The never-ending story. Oh. Can we say there's not a better singing moment in a television show than what Stranger Things did with that? That was great.
That was pretty solid.
So, yeah. Secret Wars at some point. What's the next movie? Thor. Thor: Love and Thunder's next.
So I actually
Can't wait.
The thing about that, and not to say, because I know if a lot of people, there are a lot of people who really enjoy this movie. I think there's a wider range of like thoughts on Multiverse of Madness. Because like there are some people who like, yeah, they had crazy expectations. Some people who had like nothing expected, and so they were really satisfied. Some who maybe expected above or below, and so they
I
were
think
like,
everyone has the same expectation. I think everyone is at the same place. It's the problem of like media or fed. So it's either you saw too much and you were like, I saw it all, or spoon fed by Marvel and everybody else and saying like this is gonna be better than Spider-Man No Way Home, or you didn't watch anything. You were like, this is gonna be whatever it's gonna be, and you were super excited. I just think the scales are so off. I really think everyone's at the same. I think everyone's like, it was a good movie. I just don't know where it's going.
yeah, and so like I think because of that, Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be kind of a hidden gem. Like I think that a lot of people are just like, it just looks like it's going to be fun. We're going to get to see like what Thor looks like moving forward, like taking like a next step. And like here's my thing: if they dress it up like that's what we're going to get out of Thor, like obviously some people might be let down if it feels like, oh, we just went on Thor Adventures, which was cool, but like,
well,
dang,
they're dressing it like Ragnarok, so like
it looks like it's gonna be
for
fun.
Ragnarok. And even Chris Pratt said, usually with James Gunn, he has to be like super serious with his character and like he can't really do a lot of off cuff things. And he was like, Taika let him do whatever the hell he wanted to do. So
Dude,
like we're gonna get a completely different Star-Lord.
That's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be really interesting. I wonder how that'll affect characters like Rocket and even Gamora.
Nothing. He's gonna die in Guardians 3 anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
Oh God. You know what's really funny? I don't know. Did y'all hear about Dave Bautista saying?
I was just gonna joke about that. I was like, well, we already know Drax is gonna die, but I told Jacob earlier. I think I told both of you. I think he just goes away. I think he's like, I'm done fighting. I've done everything I can. Me and Mantis are like in love, and we're gonna go away.
I don't think he's gonna fall in love with Mantis.
I think that's the weirdest.
Watch Guardians Galaxy 2 again, and then tell me that.
I think they're just the better friends, like because everybody else is kind of paired off.
I think he doesn't like. He literally is just like, you're vile. Like I think he means that shit. Like I don't think he's like. See, I don't know. I don't think he dresses it up like that.
I think going back to the Illuminati and Guardians 3, I think we, as Theories by T has said, we kind of already have our Illuminati in 616 of Captain Marvel, like our Captain Marvel, our Bruce Banner, and then we also have, I mean, it was Natasha kind of like leading them, but then you also had Okoye and you had Rocket. And like each one of them represents a different kind of thing, like except with Rocket and maybe Captain Marvel kind of both representing the cosmos. But I think with going further with the Guardians franchise, I don't think they're going to kill Rocket because Bradley Cooper is probably Bradley Cooper and Vin Diesel are the cheapest people on their payroll. Like
we know how cheap Vin is.
Well, okay. But with
another
Guardians
podcast
3, with Guardians 3, you literally have, I think, is going to be the end of Drax's story. He's going to die and be like, I'm going to go be with Hovat and Gamaria or whatever her name was. And that's going to be like his piece. and then Rocket and Groot are going to kind of like go off and do their thing. And I think at that point, Rocket and Groot should get a movie. I think that would be great. Like, because Rocket
already
Show?
have a Groot show.
Disney
Though.
Plus show
yeah,
or
maybe
movie?
even a show, but like the Groot show definitely needs Rocket in it. If it's just gonna have Groot, I'm not sure that's gonna.
I love how somebody was like, you know, how we're getting the I Am Groot, whatever holiday thing or whatever it is. Everyone's like, is it really called I Am Groot, or is it just he said the name of it and we just don't speak his language, so we don't know what the name of the show is?
Well, there's two of them. There's Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special.
Yeah, and then there's I Am Groot, the other thing. Yeah, so they're like, is the show really called I Am Groot, or is it we just don't speak his language and it's called something else?
What do you think he would name the show?
I don't know.
Planet X. Back to my origins.
I love my friends.
Groot X. I
The Guardians of the frickin' Galaxy. Only he didn't say frickin'.
Thor left us.
Thor was better looking than Star-Lord the entire time.
Rocket and I are really close, but to be honest, he really annoys me.
I just want Groot's diary to be published online. Just I'm Groot, I'm Groot, I'm Groot, I'm Groot.
And then there's a cipher key for it, and
it's just like today, Mantis read my thoughts again, and also I'm Groot.
Bro, could you? That is crazy. To
wait, have you
like,
seen the photos of like what Groot looks like now for the holiday special coming out?
No.
He looks like a backup quarterback for Tom Brady right now. He's got this chiseled chin. Yeah, he's just jacked all up now. Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's like an adult now, but he's all jacked with a square chin. It's I did it in a TikTok not too long ago. I was like, he looked like a wood version of Jennings. Like,
does he look like he did in Guardians 1?
No,
I think he's
thicker.
Okay,
I'll send it to you. No, look it up. So all of them got Christmas ornaments who were on the show and like who did things. They got character Christmas ornaments. And Groot's on there, and it's just he's chiseled and everything. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, like the way you described it, I was like, so he sounds like he's bigger than when we first saw him.
Bro. He's got lats and everything. He's like,
tell me that I gotta get my pumps up,
bro. He is like legit shake weight every day.
Not a shake weight.
He is shake weighting every day. All right, so that's where. So we got Thor next. What's after that? Black Panther: Wakanda, which they've come out to this morning and said it is on time and will come out this year.
We'll see. I don't believe anything till it's in the theater because and this is just like games. I have a lot of games where it's the same way where like stuff has just been pushed back, the production issues.
Well, that whole movie it feels cursed at this point. Like I want it to be amazing because of obvious reasons, but like just some of the stuff that's been going on with it almost feels cursed. But we'll talk about that in another podcast at some point.
What movie was that?
Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Yeah, just the different production issues, COVID.
Yeah,
and
we'll talk about that next week. So this is gonna be an every Friday episode, unless one of us is busy doing a con or having a life or getting married or having a baby or their wife killing them. One of the things. And one of those
there were two truths and a lie. What do y'all think? Y'all leave it in the comments.
There were 3 truths in that one. But other than that, we'll be doing this every week, and then we're gonna be doing it live, usually every Friday, unless, like I said, something's up and we got to pre-record or something like that. But we'll let everybody know, obviously, and we're just on YouTube right now. Other than that, well, YouTube visually and audio will be on whatever you play your podcasts on. So Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, Zune, whatever you want. But not the iPod, because the iPod got discontinued the other day.
It did, and the end of an era. Another thing, just make sure you made it to the end of the podcast. Make sure to rate it 5 stars.
Yes,
show us a little
and comments. Comments are nice too.
Yeah,
5 stars and comments. This isn't Lyft, okay?
Yo, how about y'all want to tell them where we can find you? Like, Megs, you want to tell them where anybody can find you?
You can find me on TikTok. That's really where I'd prefer everyone finding me. I'm trying to get to 50K by my birthday. It's the goal.
And when's your birthday, so everyone knows when to follow you by?
June 17th.
All right.
same birthday as Kendrick Lamar. Boom. Which
How does it
fire
feel
album.
to be the
Fire album, by the
how
way.
does it feel to know that you are a lesser important person on your birthday though?
Actually, you want to feel even better? You know who's the day before my birthday?
Who?
Tupac.
Damn. It was like I wasn't even trying to be a dick. It's just like, dang, Kendrick Lamar got the same birthday as me, and he put out a fire album today. Like that's wild.
You know what I did today? Nothing. Other than this podcast, that's going to be better than his album at some day. It won't.
Why would you say that?
That album is so good. I've listened to it 5 times already. Jacob, where can they find you? Oh, by the way, it's _official_Megs for people that are listening and don't have video.
And for people who are listening and don't have video, for me, it's KingVonSchweetz is VonSchweetz. And you can find me, like I said, on Twitch. You can find me on Twitch, but more preferably on Twitter, Instagram. I'm more on TikTok than anything else. And then also the Q app, which is an app where you can, track movies that you're going to watch in the future.
Quick question, though, for both of you. It's 7:00 on the dot. Where's Usher?
Wait, should I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead. Answer right now. I want to know right now.
He's I can't even remember the lyrics, but he's cruising in the streets.
You're
cruising.
there. You're almost there. You're missing something in the front.
It's been so long.
It's 7:00 on the dot. He is cruising the streets. That is exactly right. Actually, cruising the streets.
How'd you do that?
He's in a drop top.
In my drop top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I literally just saw this the other day, and I sang it with it. And then, of course, you asked.
Oh, did you guys see Lizzo go after people today about her dance? It was hysterical.
Oh,
She's like, it's not. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. Like she was like in about it. It was great.
Y'all, this side off is so great. That's why podcast 5 stars. We don't know what we do.
It's so good. Yeah, right. Like, all right.
The bonus content.
Yeah,
Jordan, listening 5 minutes ago, then you've heard the podcast.
Yeah, seriously. Jordan, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me JPhrygian on all socials, Instagram.
How the hell do you spell Phrygian?
YouTube. Yeah. We gonna get into that for the people who are listening because you might not have video. It is JPhrygian. I know most people can't really say it, but once you see it,
can you spell it next time just like Usher? That'd be fire. That would be because you started to do it, and in my head,
we're gonna talk about this off camera
because we just heard it. I was like, that USHERYNOND. No,
you have
all right.
You have a soothing voice.
Oh, thank you. I did it earlier, but apparently I was told I can't carry a pitch. Jealous. That's what I hear. All right. So we will be back next week, same time, same horrible bat channel. No, that's
remember it is the Daily Kazoo podcast.
Daily Kazoo, the Daily
we come
Kazoo.
to you weekly, but daily sound.
Yes.
10 o'clock news at 4.
Yeah, the 10 o'clock news at 7:30. It is 11 in the afternoon. Do you know where your aunt is?
In the streets with the drop.
All right, now we're definitely out. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.